Hi, I'm Joanna Wickman, manager of the La Quinta Museum, and we're taking a closer look at Cary Grant, who started his career in the circus. This is part of the La Quinta Museum's P.T. Barnum and the Circus exhibit, which is up through December 31st. What's interesting for a lot of people to know is the suave, charming actor actually started out as a clown, stilt walker, and acrobat in the circus. He ran away from home when he was 13 years old, and actually at that time he was still going by his birth name, which was Archibald Alexander Leach, or Archie Leach. So he ran away from home at 13. He'd been expelled from school, actually for sneaking into the girls' bathroom, and that compounded with failing grades. So his father said, well, if you can't go to school, then you need to find a job. So he was able to go to the circus, and he actually worked with Bob Pender's troupe of knockabout comedians, which traveled extensively around England. But in 1922, they got a show in New York's Hippodrome. So at the age of 18, he came to the United States. Of course, he was from Bristol, England. So he came to the United States with Bob Pender's troupe of knockabout comedians, and they played at the New York Hippodrome, which we actually have a copy of that program here on display in our case. This is a photograph of the Hippodrome. This is the cover of his program of the show that he was in.
Sorry for the glare, but there it is, yeah.
And the show he was in was Better Times, and this is the credits for the cast, and he's actually mentioned 3 times in here. So we have that for our visitors. See if you can
Under
spot
Archie Leach.
See if you can spot Archie Leach. So after Bob Pender's troupe went back to England at the end of the Better Times engagement at the New York Hippodrome, Cary Grant stayed behind. So now he's 18, 19 years old and all alone in the United States trying to find work, and he found it. And he ended up working at Coney Island for a few years as a stilt walker. And one of the other very interesting things we have on display is this text panel. And what this is a quote from an autobiography he wrote in, I believe, 1958, where he just basically shared stories about his life. And what this talks about is how when he was a stilt walker in Coney Island, kids would come up and try to knock him down, and he would try to defend himself and parry with a long stilt leg as they would come up behind him with canes and knock him down or throw rocks at him. So it's kind of an interesting story. And because of his acrobatic skill, in a lot of his movies, he actually did all of his own stunts, including North by Northwest, To Catch a Thief, where he's running across rooftops. That was him. That was no stunt double. And a lot of that is owed to all of the falls and everything that he took in the circus. And we talked a little bit earlier about a video that we have that shows film clips of some of these different movie stars performing some of their circus stunts. And there's one film in particular, it's from 1938, and it's called Holiday, and it stars Cary Grant and Katharine Hepburn. And there are a number of scenes in that film where Cary Grant will walk into a room and do a somersault or do a backflip or a cartwheel. At one point, he actually picks up Katharine Hepburn and throws her into the air, and they both do a somersault. And all of this is because this is what he did in the circus.
Wonderful. Well, he certainly doesn't have the image in his later years as being any kind of a comic. So that's an interesting slant on Cary Grant's life. So thank you. We'll look forward to seeing the whole exhibit. Thank you very much.
Thank you.